I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing.
Rescue those in need, and uphold our freedom. Thank you for your service.
ensemble to perform is the 7th and 8th grade choir, under the direction of Mrs. May. We are performing the song The Unsung Hero. This song was written in the aftermath of the attacks of 9/11, as tribute to all those who serve and protect. Joe Martin's rich melody is bathed in emotion and gratitude to all heroes who later turned aside, choosing honor more than glory.
The final 7th grade ensemble to perform is the 7th grade band under the direction of Mrs. Krause. They are performing The Legacy of Heroes, which was arranged by Michael Story. The great British Prime Minister, author, and statesman Benjamin Disraeli once said, "The legacy of heroes is the memory of a great man and the inheritance of a great example." No better quotation exemplifies our brave men and women who have served and sadly were lost in the line of duty. The Legacy of Heroes is a tribute to military heroes. It combines acts with America the Beautiful.
to introduce this morning's guest speaker, Mr. Dalton Tills. Mr. Tills served as a staff sergeant in the United States Air Force during Operation Southern Watch and Operation Enduring Freedom. He served at the United States Air Force Academy as an Air Force fighter deploying to the countries of Haiti, Kuwait, Oman, and Afghanistan, providing crash fighter rescue, security, and medical operations. He was awarded the 1999 Department of Defense Firefighter of the Year, the Army Commendation Medal, Air Force Commendation Medal, and the Air Achievement Medal. He has two children, Christian and Scarlett Tills. Christian now attends Badger High School, and Scarlett is an 8th grader here at LGMS. He is married to Crystal Tills. Please help me welcome Mr. Dalton Tills.
Good morning. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. I'd like to thank LGMS for having me here today, the students. It's a great honor for me to provide a small part of my story of my service to you. Thank you to the veterans here today. Thank you for your service and your sacrifice. And I would like to also to the loss that we lost here. Slide, please. I started my journey at the Air Force Academy. That was my first duty assignment when I first enlisted in 1994. I did 2 terms of enlistment, and I got out of the Air Force in 2002. That is the Air Force Academy's Major Command Patch, and the Air Force Academy was established in 1956. Fun fact, Lake Geneva was actually considered for one of the sites for the Air Force Academy. But due to Wisconsin's weather, they chose Colorado Springs instead. Slide, please. This is the chapel at the Air Force Academy. The Air Force Academy has hundreds of thousands of acres, over 200 miles of roads, and a huge population during the day. It has the 4 classes of Air Force cadets that prepare to become officers in the United States Air Force. We have our own hospital and airfield. And during times during the summer, sometimes our airfield is one of the busiest airports in the country, training cadets how to fly. One of my jobs as a firefighter there was to provide crash fire rescue for aircraft, structural firefighting, and medical emergencies for people on base and partially off. Next slide, please. In 1997, I deployed to Haiti. The monument that you see on your left is a monument at a killing field. That killing field, the dictator, the evil dictator of Haiti, killed thousands of Haitians. And that was a memorial there at that mass grave site. That is me, way back, a little bit younger, at Haiti. Next slide, please. While I was in Haiti, I helped the Air Force Civil Engineers construct this school. 3 schoolhouses, one up from the foundation, and renovate 2 others. As an Air Force firefighter, we were civil engineers in the Air Force, and we were called Prime B, Prime Base Emergency Engineering Force. And so it can be said that every Air Force firefighter is a civil engineer, but not every Air Force civil engineer is a firefighter. I was fortunate enough to go with the structural guys to Haiti to help them, and I was kind of more of a medic for them, but I also did my share of labor there. In the small picture there, you see some small Haitian children. They were outside of our perimeter of our job site, and we also give them many times a lot of our food and lunch boxes to the kids. At the bottom right there is one of our finished schoolhouses that we provided. Next slide, please. These are more pictures from Haiti. The top left picture is from where I stayed. It was called the Sea Hut. And I have to tell you, in my experience, and years of service, I got to work with every branch of the service. I got to work with sailors, Marines, soldiers, and Coast Guard. And it was my honor to work with all of them. And we usually work together at almost every place I was deployed. The huts that were called the Sea Huts, and the Navy CPAs built those for us. On the right, this is the road going into the capital city of Port-au-Prince. And below is one of their bike shops. Okay? And I was also fortunate enough to provide some medical service to the Haitians as the Navy hospital would go out and put on 3 clinics for the citizens. Next slide, please. This is Oman. After 9/11, in October 23rd, 2001, I was deployed to Seed Air Base. That's what it was called, Seed, in the capital of Oman, which is Muscat. It was right there shared at the international airport there of that capital city. That is Tent City, which I helped build, and there was a lot of tents for a lot of days in very high heat. To the right there is one of our crash trucks at our fire station, and then there's me on the bottom with our PAT water tanker, which held 2,000 gallons of water. Next slide. Right before in Oman, we also had the Air Force Academy Hospital deployed with us, and we took some of the first casualties of the war when we invaded Afghanistan. This is when I was deployed into Afghanistan. That was my living conditions in our GP tent up there. And we had to be ready all the time to put on what we call our battle route, because eventually we would take mortar shells and rocket fire occasionally into our perimeter. Up to our the right-hand picture is my latrine. In part of the compound that we shared with the Air Force security officers and Army MPs, Air Force tactical control parties, Air Force combat weather, and Air Force combat communication. Everything that came into Kandahar International Aerospace was provided by Airborne. So the Air Force was there to provide fire rescue and all Air Force services, flight line services to all the aircraft. We also helped provide perimeter security as well. And with that latrine, we have one side for the firefighters to keep us with the domination, and the other side for the cops. On the bottom there is our fire station, and we were able to steal a lot of wood from the Army. And I got to work with the 101st Airborne Rakistan Task Force. And they won't let us have our wood, so our fire chief let us on our mission at about 2 in the morning, and we took a lot of wood. But it helped make our living conditions a little bit more palatable. Next slide, please. I'm on the top there with another gentleman here constructing a shower facility. He said, while we were in Afghanistan, which was raised because we were showering in tents. And there's some of my fellow firefighters that were trying to improve our defensive fighting positions at the time. One of the gentleman kneeling on the top picture, he was part of the Air Force tactical air control parties, and he was assigned to the 101st Airborne. And I was there during Operation Anaconda, which was a major offensive early in the war. He received the Purple Heart. Next slide, please. These are national Afghan men in February of 2002. And the bottom picture is them being voted on a C-130. These Afghani men were some of the first volunteers to be flown up to Kabul to get training to help us fight the Taliban and Al-Qaeda at the time. Next slide, please. That's me on top with all of my battle rattle on. And just to show you just some of the pictures of the area of what Kandahar Air Base looked like. Now, if you look at the bottom picture, you can see a slope that's going out. Behind that slope was the decaying prisons, in which some of those prisons are still kept in Guantanamo Bay now. Next picture. That is Kandahar International Airspace Terminal. And in that terminal, when I first got there, all the windows were already blown out. The United States Marine Corps fought and took the International Airport. 101st Airborne, then we leave the Marine Corps, Expeditionary Forces Unit, and then I got this as my honor to serve with the 101st Airborne. Up top is us firefighters, and as we were doing classes on UH-60 helicopters and AH-64 Apache attack helicopters. That AH-64 on top actually took battle damage in Operation Anaconda that we were able to take a class on. And our classes were able to shut the aircraft down, safety all the munitions on the aircraft, and egress all the pilots. And as I said before, everything that we received came from air. Bottled water, MRE, food, ammunition, anything like that. If we got lucky, some people from Ramstein Air Force Base in Europe would fly down pizza. Next slide. And every 4 years, the President of the United States speaks at the graduation at the Air Force Academy. And then we're at the honor of the Thunderbirds that do an air show at above that. Again, thank you so much for my time. Have a good day.
Please join me in watching our presentation of the friends and family of our staff and students that have served in the armed forces. Patriotic musical selections will be performed by Mrs. Carol Aaron.